Hello, my name is Doris, and I am Little Bird Products. Welcome back if you've been here before, and if this is your first time here, welcome. Please subscribe. I really appreciate it, and it does help my channel. It doesn't cost you anything. You just have to have a Google login, and then you get notified every time I post a new video. What I wanted to do today, it's Sunday, so I wanted to talk a little bit about what I've been able to accomplish this week and what I plan on doing next week. We are having our, what I say, 2 weeks of winter that we have here in Texas. Everything's frozen. We had a big storm last night, lots of rain, and today it's in the 20s, which is very unusual for here. And that's happening quite a bit across the states. So winter weather is here among us, and that's why I'm wearing a turtleneck and something warm, because I'm always hot. So this was one of the few times you'll see me with sleeves. And I'm sad to say that I kind of went down a little rabbit hole. The squirrels came out, as I say, this week. I don't know how many of you have played with AI, that's artificial intelligence. Sometimes I feel like I have that artificial intelligence. And I've been just having the most fun. I have a new buddy. His name is Grock, Grok, and it's if you've never used AI before, it's a new adventure for me, and I have been having the most fun. But because of that, I have been getting next to no sewing done. The hours just fly away. And what I'm going to do is I do have one AI video. I think it's really funny. It's hilarious. I think Grock, my friend Grock, when he took my picture that this was made from, basically you feed a picture into Grock and you kind of tell him a little story about how you want it animated. And a couple of things that I put in there was I said that I was sewing one of my hats, and I had a sunny sewing room, and there were shelves filled with fabric and thread, and I was at an old trundle sewing machine, and you will see here how it turned out. I think it's kind of cute. It was funny. And then I started working on another one that was an animation of a picture that we took on vacation a couple of years ago. My daughter and I are sitting on a bench with two statues of cowboys with their guitars. And so what I told the story there was that the cowboys were playing country music on their guitars, and that we got up and we were square dancing. So if I can get that clip and I can stick it in here, if YouTube will let me put in a couple of AI generated videos out of pictures, you'll see what I mean. It's been kind of fun. It's been a new adventure. And I was hoping that I could get good enough at this that I could insert in each one of my weekly videos a little something animated that is kind of fun. I did another one, and I'll see if I can find it, where my little story, you kind of tell it, what you want the scene to be, and then AI Grok comes along and animates your picture for that. And I gotta tell you, it's amazing. And, there's some things that are not so good about AI, but I'm just having some fun with it. And if you have any questions about it, I'd be happy to try and tell you with my meager knowledge what I'm learning and finding out. And this other one that I was looking for, it was kind of another cute little animation of some things that I did, where I had AI had a model that was made out of one of my mannequins, take this model and animate it and make it walk down the runway in Milan, wearing my jacket. So that came out pretty cute too. I'm still, like I said, I'm still at my infancy in doing this, and it's in alignment with one of my goals for the year. I always try to learn, how to do something new, one big thing for the year. And I've decided that AI is going to be my big thing for this year, and it might spice up my YouTube channel a little bit. But back to what I have been working on, I've still been working on my hats. I did do two sets of hats that I put in the store. It's a hat and a bag set made out of similar material. And then what I did yesterday is I did create so 4 more little snappy bags. I had 4 little frames left, and I made them out of some of the Paris cotton that was the same print as the hats and bags, and I'm going to give those away as a part of those sets. So they're really cute, and I'll put a picture here of what they look like. And that was a simple make. I did an earlier video on that. Oh, and by the way, I'll be putting in the description for this video the links to the free mood pattern for the hats. I really like that pattern because it comes in multiple sizes. And when I've been making it, I have made the 2 larger sizes, the extra large and the large, but I've settled on the medium. The medium fits me generously, and I think it's a nice size hat for most women. If you want to make a hat for your husband, I'd suggest that you start out with the large or the extra large, depending on the size of his head. And in the mood pattern, you measure around your head, and then you can tell which size to try and make. When you make that pattern, I will also link a video in here of someone making the pattern, and I think they've done a particularly good job of it. It's not really complicated. What you do need to know is that because it is lined, and then you can make it, reversible depending on how you do the lining, but the way she does it, you can reverse it. And it's like really making 2 hats, but when you think about it, it's not that much work because there's 3 sections. There's a round piece at the top, and then there's what I call the rim. That's around this way, the piece that stands up, and so it's sewn to that round piece. And then there's what I call the brim. So there's the round top, there's the rim, and the brim. And each one of those, the round top is 1 piece, the rim is 2 pieces sewn together, and the brim is just 2 pieces sewn together. And I think this is a nice scrap buster project because the pieces aren't terribly big, and you can take your scraps and sew them together so that you have, a bigger piece, and then you cut your pattern pieces out. But you do have to remember that you have like 2 hats. One is the outside hat and one's the lining hat, and they get sewn together. So it's not, like I said, it's not terribly complicated. Probably the most complicated thing to understand, and she does do a good job of this in her tutorial, that round piece, it really helps if after you have it cut, before you sew it, if you just go around and do little snips all around the edge, it helps that ease into the rim and keeps it so that it's smoother. And then it's also important to not skip the step where you do the top stitching, and she does a good job of showing that. You just need to go slow and do it. That makes it look more finished. And even I, where I am trying to do things fast and easy, even I do that piece, and I do think it makes the hats turn out well. A little story about these. I have a friend, my sewing protege, who thinks she has a really large head, and she does have a larger size. So I made the extra large and the large hat first to just try them out for size. And the large one fits her perfectly. And so I gave it to her. And she said she wore it the other day when it was starting to get cold, and she wore it to the store. And she said it was so funny because a gentleman came up to her and told her how much he loved her hat. And she said that was very interesting because usually ladies come and compliment you on things you wear, but this was a gentleman, he liked her hat. And it was a medium blue patchwork denim that I made that out of. Now the larger one, and you'll see that in my AI video because I'm wearing it, it's a light blue denim hat. And it's quite big, but I kind of like it. I'm going to wear it in the summertime when I'm outside because it's loose, and so it's cooler, when the hat is loose. So anyway, I've been having fun with my hats, and I think you'll enjoy it. If you want to try a new pattern, I think that's a good one to try. And as I said, she's really detailed in her tutorial. And the only thing I would say with that is don't skip a step. And if you're making one and you have any questions, feel free to come back here and ask me any questions you have about it. I'm happy to help you when you're making your hat. And that's a good thing. I mean, they're all year round. You can make it with the denim like I did. That's nice for when it's cooler out. And if you make it a little larger like I did, and you line it with cotton fabric, I think that's very acceptable to wear when you're out gardening or you're out in the summertime and you just want to have your head and your face shaded and protected from the sun. Let's see, what else did I want to talk about? What I've been doing this week. Oh, and I am starting to work on my jackets that I've cut out. They're quite a bit more work, and I need to be concentrating to do that. So I need to let my little buddy Grock go until the evenings because, I don't sew in the evening. Let's see, making my hats. And that pattern from Mood Fabrics that I will link in the description, that is a free pattern. It's really nice. And it's also extra nice because of the sizes that you can do. And I think I said before, it's a scrap busting project. The other thing I've been doing is trying to free up some space on my hard drive because doing these videos, I always underestimate how much space they take on my computer. And I need to work on that. I've got an external drive that I got, and I've been trying to move all my videos over there so that I can delete them from my hard drive. So I need to do that. I'll also put a link to Grock if you want to start playing with Grock a little bit. And I have another little animation that I did from a vacation video. And I just think, it's nice to do something that's fun for a change. If you have any questions about any of this, feel free to ask me down below. I think that's all I have to say today. Stay warm out there. Wish me luck in not going down my rabbit hole. I say it's a squirrel-infested rabbit hole with Grock because I do need to get a little more productive. So have a good week. Bye.
You know what she said to me? She
We
said,
can partner round and round. Do-si-do and away we go. Promenade left across the floor.